There we go. All right. Good evening, everybody. Oh, it's not Monday. Good evening, everybody. That's better. Sure. Come to Bryanston to die. Okay, so welcome to DuePoint. My name's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 50 minutes or so with you. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in on the live stream around the country. Once the presentation's done, you're welcome to come speak to me, ask me any questions that you might have. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company that's been around for nearly 7 decades. We were founded in 1952, so we've been around for a very long time. We don't share offices with Constantia. They're just down the road here in Randburg. That's their building in the background. That's the orange branding that they use, their little logo. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there. 31111. You'll notice in the foyer above the water cooler, we've got all our Financial Services Board licenses on display. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license, we've got an investment license, we've got our financial services provider license, and we've also put up accreditation with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association. So go take a look at those certificates up on the wall. That's our stamp of credibility. You have to trust the business that we're going to be speaking about this evening, right? If I'm to make any proposition this evening is one that you have to trust. So go do a background check on us, go take a look at those certificates, make sure they're authentic, they're not just photocopies. You can go do a background check on us on our website. We're part of a group called Conduit Capital, which is listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. The executives and the managers are these individuals up on screen. The first 3 people are registered chartered accountants, starting with Mr. Benfield, who you see here ushering everyone in. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because his family have been involved in insurance for over 50 years. His father's a professor of insurance who taught at Wits for 25 years. His father founded the Clientele Life. He founded the IFA. His father and 2 sons, so Brendan and his brother Stuart, along with their dad, founded a short-term insurer down the road called Prime Meridian Direct. They've founded businesses in Australia, in Europe. They've had a lot of success in this financial space. So we're very lucky to have Brendan heading up this division because of that financial pedigree that they have. Tim and Stacey, they head up our auditing and the accounting aspects of our business. They wanted to become accountants, so they get the boring work here at DuePoint. But I guess it's very important stuff to take care of. Tim is very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for about 15 years in a senior position there where he reported directly to the CEO. And then Stacey, she's worked in auditing all her career. She was with Deloitte here and overseas before she joined the team once she came back to South Africa. And then the 2 non-accountants, the fun people, Jane and myself. So I think Jane's here this evening too. She's got a lot of experience in referral marketing or network marketing, and that's very important to us because we're an insurance company, but our growth is very much predicated on our ability to work in the network marketing space. And Jane brings that international experience because she's from the UK. She's been in South Africa for about 10 years, but she brings that experience to our team that is fundamental. And then myself, I've been working in marketing and advertising for over 20 years. I ran an agency for 15 of those years. I exited that business and then joined the team here at DuePoint. So this is the senior staff. We've got our client service staff. We've got admin staff. The mandate of the staff here. So the whole focus of all the people that work at DuePoint is to support people that join us in this business. So we do everything to support you in this endeavor. As a business, we can only be profitable if you guys are being effective and profitable yourselves in the business. And so it's in our interest to collaborate effectively with you. And you'll see everything that we offer in the business is there to support your growth in our business. So that's a bit of background on us and the team. I'm going to briefly go over the circumstance that we find ourselves in. You can see the slide starts with a 4-letter word there, debt, fairly negative connotation. That's because the circumstance that majority of us find ourselves in with regards to the economy is fairly negative. So when we look at the economy, we know we've got high interest rates, high inflation, very high food inflation, and our salaries are typically not keeping up with inflation or the cost of living. So that's something you can answer for yourselves. I often ask the audience, how many people in the audience in the last 7 years have got a 5, 6, 7% increase in their salaries every single year? If you haven't, your salary is actually devalued compared to where it was 7 years ago. right? And you'll feel that at the end of the month because it feels like you're not keeping up with what the cost of living is at the moment. And this is true for the majority of South Africans. Unfortunately, we make the mistake of trying to engage in debt instruments thinking that this is going to fix our situation. It doesn't. It exacerbates your personal finance situation. And there are a plethora of different debt instruments that you can engage in. We often criticize the economy that we engage too much in debt and not enough in savings and investment products. And this issue, this debt cycle that we find ourselves in, really comes to a head when you get to retirement, because the statistics we get show that only about 3% of South Africans get to retirement financially independent. 3%. That is a shocking statistic. The rest of us get to retirement where we're faced with a decision. I've got to go look for another job. I've got to downgrade my lifestyle to such a degree so that the cost of living I can afford, or I become dependent on children and other family members when you get to retirement. And this presentation is about changing that circumstance. Out of all of this negativity, out of the circumstance we find ourselves in South Africa as a business, we saw an opportunity to create a system or a platform that the average South African can engage in, an opportunity to change your circumstance. And so the DuePoint system was launched almost 2 years ago now, so I think we're 23 months old. Next month we'll be 24 months old. And we have 3 aspirations in mind for the people that join our business. So you might be thinking, well, I'm just here to earn more money, right? But money is a means to an end. You want money to achieve certain things in life. And for us, the aspirations that we have for people in this business, because it's not just about creating money, we want people to think differently about money. And so the aspirations that we have for people in this business is, number 1, to become debt-free, completely debt-free. 1 SMS at the end of the month, your salary, maybe a second SMS from DuePoint, and that's all. No more SMSs. We don't want those 20 debit order SMSs coming after your salary, right? That's what debt-free feels like. Debt-free, being debt-free empowers you to create wealth. You can only create wealth if you have finished paying everyone else off, right? You cannot become wealthy if you owe other people money. And so our first aspiration is always to become debt-free. That empowers us to create wealth. We do that through the ownership of assets and investments that appreciate. And then the third aspiration happens on its own, and that's just to be happier. We want people in this business just to be happier, ultimately. And money will solve pretty much 95% of our problems. So the other 5% you're going to have to deal with your own. I can't help you there, right? But the 95% I'm hoping we can help you with. So those are aspirations. You can align yourselves with those. You don't have to. Completely up to you. The way this business works is basically you're going to go out and introduce people to DuePoint. You'll first become wealth engineers. So what happens is you join DuePoint, you contract with us. We call you wealth engineers once you contract with us, and then you go out and you find other people to introduce to DuePoint. And our online facility or our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to those people. And that's how the whole business works. In a nutshell, right? Explained in one sentence. The business, therefore, starts creating additional income for yourselves. That's why you're here, additional income. But note that the nature of the income that we produce here is one that is recurring. So some people refer to this as passive income. I fondly refer to my father's description of it because he tried to explain it to me when I was very young, and I remember this. He said to me, it's the ability to make money while you're sleeping. As a 12-year-old, I didn't know what he was talking about. Flew over my head, right? I had to experience it, I had to experience the lack of creating recurring income to understand his point of why creating recurring or passive income is so important. So I got involved in business at a fairly early age. I started my agency when I was about 23 years old. And after about 9 years of running it, I realized that we weren't creating any recurring income, right? Every single month we would have to work for whatever income figure target that we needed to meet every month. And at the first of the next month, we started at zero. At zero again, every single month. And then we'd have to work for another 30 days and start at zero. And work and start at zero. And in December, when all my staff went on leave and the business didn't generate money, well, then we had to have hoped that we had created enough of a fund in the first part of the year to fund getting through December and January. And I did this for 9 years, and I thought, this is not what my father intended when he said, make money while you sleep, because I was certainly not making money while I was sleeping. And we tried for the next 5 years to create a business that created recurring income. We failed to do that, but the business was making money. And so I decided to exit the business. I walked away from it. I decided for the next 20 years of my working career, I want to invest in business that creates recurring income. And it's something that's actually inherent to insurance companies. We've got something that's called a book value. A book value has an asset value that creates recurring income every month. And this is something you get to partake in. Your channel of distribution that you build, your primary focus in this business, building a channel of distribution. This thing that you build in this business will pay you out recurring income. It is your ability to free yourself of time constraint, right? And you'll see it illustrated a bit further on. We harness the power of duplication. So the system that we've built allows you to leverage yourself. So when you go out and you start introducing other people to this business, I'm hoping that you'll go out and find like-minded, resourceful, effective people that can collaborate effectively with you. Because if you do that, you will duplicate yourself. You will leverage yourself effectively to your benefit. So, for example, if you only have an hour a day to commit to this business, right? Because we all got day jobs, we've got family, probably all these other commitments. You've got an hour a day to commit to DuePoint. But if you go find 20 other people that are able to invest an hour a day and help you and collaborate with you in this business, now suddenly you've leveraged yourself 20 times. You don't have an hour being invested into your business daily. You now have 21 hours being invested into your business daily. That is the leverage that I'm talking about. The business is flexi time. So this is your luxury of deciding what it looks like. How does your week look with DuePoint? Is DuePoint something that you do every evening and during the week? Is it something you do in the mornings, lunch times? Do you do it on Saturdays, Sundays? You get to decide what that looks like. You get to choose how it fits into your life. But on the other side of it, if you want to be successful at anything, you have to keep yourself accountable to the commitment that it requires to be successful. Right? I hope everyone understands that. So when you decide, well, this is how DuePoint, this is how it's going to fit into my life, how do you keep yourself accountable to being committed and persistent in that? Because I tell you now, if you don't do that, you're not going to be successful in this business. There's no startup capital. There's no registration fees to become a wealth engineer in our business. We don't have boxes of product that you have to invest in to get started in our business. So we make it as risk-free as possible. There's no qualifications or experience required. Did anyone bring their CVs this evening? I didn't see any CVs on the counter. No one bring a CV? Fortunately, I don't care about CVs. Right? We care about work ethic here. And what's notable is we work in financial services. I was just speaking to Brendan now. He's filling out some new regulation that we have to comply with that the FSB gave us in December. He's now on his, I think he said he's about halfway, he's 6,000 words into this compliance document that he had to create for the Financial Services Board because they invented more regulation over December. You guys don't have to worry about that. I had to go write financial exams. I had to go do a financial degree while I was working just to comply and work in financial services. You guys don't have to worry about any of that. We've set the system up that it excludes you from that obligation, right? So you get to enjoy the benefit of being involved in financial services without the worry of that onerous process of compliance. You get to build an asset. Now, for me, this is the tipping point for me. If I was considering a business like this, that is probably the most important benefit for me, because what it is you're building an asset that you have legal tender over. That means you have ownership over this channel of distribution that you're building in this business. This is the antithesis of employment. I assume everyone's employed here, or a majority of people are employed here, right? We're working for somebody else, building up someone else's asset, and you are going to sacrifice a lifetime doing that. 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week for 40 to 45 years building up someone else's asset with nothing to show for it. Because we don't get to partake in the upside of business. We should be happy that we get a salary and that's it. Begging for a 5% increase at the end of the financial year, right? But we have to partake in the downside of the company that we work for, because if the company doesn't do well, we don't get an increase. If the industry and the economy is not doing well, we don't get an increase. If the company does really badly, we've got to partake in the retrenchment process. Right? In this business, the time that you are sacrificing into a business where you're building an asset that you have ownership over. This channel of distribution will pay you out a recurring income. It'll carry on paying you once you're retired. It'll carry on paying once you die. Right? You can seed this on to your children. It'll be left in your estate. It'll have value that'll keep on paying. So I hope we are happy to sacrifice time into this business. There's no selling involved. Majority of us hate selling. We're terrified of selling, right? Who wants to sell vitamins to people on weekends? Put your hand up. Nobody. One person. Vitamin salesman. There's no selling involved in our business. Again, it forms part of how we've structured the business in terms of pulling you out of the compliance aspect of our business. So you don't have to speak about our products. You certainly won't be speaking about our products. You won't be selling our products. And the nature of our products are financial. And that has its own benefits because we don't have stock issues. We don't have tangible products, right? I told you, there's no boxes of products that you have to buy. We don't run out of products. Our products don't have expiry dates on them. They don't take up space at your house. So we make the products as convenient as possible. But your success in this business is very much dependent on your ability to build what we call channels of distribution. So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. You start out and you become a wealth engineer. You're going to, like I said earlier, go out and look for people that will collaborate with you. You'll expose them to the DuePoint opportunity. If they're taken by the opportunity, they also become wealth engineers. They take out one of our products. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. So in this example, you've introduced 5 people to the business. And this is where the leverage, the power duplication takes place, because those 5 individuals that you introduce to the business are going to go out and do exactly the same thing you're doing. Right? What's happening is that they're actually building up your channel of distribution as well as theirs. This is where the collaboration takes place. This is where I hope that you see the importance of bringing very resourceful, effective people you can depend on into your business. Not putting up a gazebo and asking anyone off the street to come join your business. Right? People do that. They ask me, when can we get a DuePoint gazebo? I want to put it up on the corner so anyone walking past can come join the business. We're not that business. That's not us. You're going to go out and headhunt your board of directors. Right? Think of it as that. You're the CEO, you're going to build up a board of directors, people you're going to work with for the rest of your life, potentially. And if you're effective in doing that, and this duplication starts to happen, this is what your channel could look like after a certain amount of time. You're being paid recurring income for every single dot that you see on the screen. When you go on holiday, we keep paying you. You can take 3 months holiday, and we'll keep paying you every month. You can go through retirement, and this channel will keep on paying you. You will die, and your children will carry on being paid. So this is the primary focus, building a channel of distribution here at DuePoint. You'll be warned that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. So I think some people, well, perhaps they have a fear that they've been invited to a presentation that is one of these businesses or a scheme of some sort. We're not one of those businesses. We're a 70-year-old insurance company that has decided to partake in network marketing to grow our business. Right? Network marketing's been around for over 100 years. Unfortunately, any business can attach that remuneration model to their business. And unfortunately, there's all the stigma that exists that's come before us. People doing rubbish business using network marketing as a growth model. We're nearly 7 years old. We've got very reputable people involved in this business, very experienced individuals. We are not a get-rich-quick scheme. At the same time, Bren and myself will never promise anyone success quickly in this business. If anyone here has had the appreciation of trying to start their own business, you will know how difficult it is, how hard it is. So you might be wondering, why on earth does he have a picture of ballerinas on the disclaimer slide, on the warning slide? Because this is what we think entrepreneurship is. Right? You go to the State Theatre, you see the pretty ballerina running around on her ballet pumps. That's what we think it is. But to be a professional dancer, that's what it looks like. This is what we think entrepreneurship looks like. This is what entrepreneurship takes. Blood, sweat, and tears. You go listen to Elon Musk. He was asked about entrepreneurship. He says people have this romantic notion about what entrepreneurship's all about. They think it's so wonderful. 95% of new businesses fail in the first year in South Africa. So this is my warning slide. The problem is we all want to get rich quickly, right? Who wants to get rich slowly here? See, it's a trick question, right? You want to get rich slowly or you want to get rich quickly? Beware of yourselves. Beware of yourselves. Because what happens, and we live in the society where we want everything quickly, right? Is that you will frustrate yourself too quickly and it'll lead you to giving up. And you go speak to any successful entrepreneur. It's about not giving up. Right? So that's my disclaimer slide. Pretty ballerina's feet. Lovely picture. All right, so how do you earn in this business? So there's two ways to earn. One is through our returns program. The returns program is where you create your recurring income. And the second way to earn is through the rewards program. The rewards program is like an incentive program where we have some fun along the way with the success that we have in the business. So this is the returns program, the recurring income. We pay a base return fee of R27.50 for every product that you have in your channel. Right? But it's dependent on where that product lies in relation to you. So remember the first 5 individuals you introduced to the business. Those individuals lie on your first point, right? They are 1 point away from you. And on your first point, the product we pay 200% for, so double the R27.50. We pay you R55 for every product on your first point every single month. Remember, it's recurring income. You don't have to go sell vitamins again to those people next month. The recurring income comes in, all right? Those people go out and build their first points. In relation to you, this is your second point. So on your second point, again, you get paid R55 for every product on your second point. And then as your business starts to grow to the third point, you see the multiplier drops back down to 100%, and then it keeps on growing all the way down to the 8th point. By the 8th point, you see the multipliers drop to 4%. But what's important to note is that from the 8th point onwards, you will carry on earning that 4%. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get at DuePoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. We've already got wealth engineers that are close to 0.30 in the space of 23 months. 0.30, we haven't limited them to 0.8. They can grow their businesses to 100, 200, 300 points, and they have the potential of earning on every single point that they build, right? There's no limitation. The limitation falls squarely on your shoulders, the accountability of how big you want to grow this business. The next question we get is, well, how much can you earn after a certain amount of time in our business? So what we did was we built this path to success. It is a projection of earnings over the next 5 years. So where can you get to in this business after 5 years? It is based on a premise, a growth formula. So it assumes as a new wealth engineer, in your first month, you can bring 3 people into your business. So on your first point. And then every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2. So 3 in January, 2 in February, 2 in March, 2 in April, 2 in May. You keep going like that every single month, right? If you can follow that growth formula, you can expect to be earning these numbers. R2,500 of recurring income after 6 months. Does that sound like get rich quick? Doesn't, right? I hope you're not too disappointed. But I want to use the opportunity to get you to think differently about money, because it's very easy, and this is something I do constantly. I caught myself out, actually, while I was doing the presentation. Because also, when the accountants came up with the R2,500 after 6 months, I thought, geez, who's going to join our business if we're only offering R2,500 after 6 months of work? But then I started to understand the power of recurring income. Because this is recurring income. This is what you're earning every single month, right? Remember, our first aspiration in the business was to become debt-free as quickly as possible. So your choice always, when you have money, your choice always is, do I spend the money or do I invest the money? Paying your debt off and investing is the same thing. Do you know that? It's the same thing. So you decide to invest it. Here we've got an example of someone with R1 million bond. They've got a house. They asked the bank for a loan. The bank gave them R1 million, and they agreed to pay the bank back for 20 years. So they engaged in a 20-year bond term, right? So I'm 40. If I engage in this bond term today, I'll make my final installment when I'm 60, hopefully just before I retire, right? So I'll become a homeowner at the age of 60. Isn't that a bit depressing? But I joined DuePoint, and 6 months later, with some success, I'm earning R2,500. And instead of spending the money, because I could go buy a pair of shoes every month quite easily, right? Maybe 7 packets of groceries. How much will R2,500 get you with groceries nowadays? Instead of spending the money, I decide to invest it. I decide to put it in as an additional payment into my bond. The net effect of that is, instead of taking 20 years to pay that house off, I can do it in 11 and a half years. Little R2,500 will nearly halve the term of your bond. It'll save you nearly R1 million in interest payments back to the bank. The whole house cost R1 million, and R2,500 can nearly save you the full asset value of the house you financed. At 12 months, you've created for yourself in excess of R100,000 in recurring income. Who would like a R100,000 check just before Christmas every year? 4 people. Would it be nice if you got it this year, right? Or this Christmas. This Christmas, R100,000 check. So think about it. I'll say to you, okay, well, bring me 25 people to put onto your first point, work for 12 months, and I'll give you that 100,000 rand check every year. Would you do it? Well, I don't want to disappoint you guys, but half of you are going to give up before you even get to 3 months. We keep going. 24 months, you're going to be earning close to 30,000 rand a month. Right? This is 3 plus 2. 2 people onto your first point every month. After 36 months, you're close to 50,000 rand a month. At the 30-month mark, you're earning 36,000 rand. You put 36,000 rand into a 5 million rand bond, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. At the age of 47, I can pay my first house off. I've paid my debt off. Now I start creating wealth. I start investing in assets. So I decide to buy another house for 5 million rand. And I pay that off at the age of 54. Buy a third house and pay that off at the age of 61. I'm now ready to retire. I own 15 million rand in property assets. I'm living in one house, renting the other 2 out for 60, 70,000 rand a month. I'm getting paid whatever DuePoint's paying me in 21 years' time. That's the retirement we want for you. That's the retirement we want for you. You keep going. After 48 months, you're close to 70,000 rand a month. 3 plus 2. 2 people every month. 2 people every month. At month 60, you've earned for yourself about 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Who would like a 1 million rand check before Christmas? Those of you who don't want, I'm taking your share. Okay. 1 million rand a year extra over and above your salary. At what stage of the process can you tell your boss what you really think about him or her? Who's got the luxury of doing that now? None of us, right? There's 10 million people standing in line behind you looking for a job. Ooh, we keep very quiet at our work. Right? So this is all academic. This is purely theory. This is something the accountants came up with, this projection based on 3 plus 2. You can do a lot less than that. Like I said, half of you are going to give up after 3 months. You're going to do less than that. But on the other side of it, you can do more than that. If you want more than 2,500 rand after 6 months, guess who makes that decision? You guys. It's up to you. You decide what you want to do every single day when you wake up in the morning. And we showcase wealth engineers every single month. We've got new wealth engineers come onto stage. We ask them to tell everybody their story, their experience of DuePoint. Right? And it's not all roses. Some people struggle. Some people go through trouble, and then they come back to DuePoint. They disappear for a few months. Everyone's got a different story. So here's Mike and Vilna. They haven't tracked 3 plus 2. So you can see they've joined nearly 2 years ago. They're only at the 10,000 rand mark now. They were supposed to be at the 27,000 rand mark. Don't you think they should have given up? Right? If I changed that projection model and I said 10,000 rand after 2 years, would you still be hanging around? No one's left the presentation yet, by the way. I don't know if they're trying to be polite. But it forces you to think about the value of money differently. Because this is a question I like to ask the audience. Who knows how much money they need in a bank account, in an investment, to derive 10,000 rand a month of interest every month? This is the question you're going to ask yourself when you get to retirement. So you better know this question and the answer. How much money do you need in the bank, in the investment, to earn yourself 10,000 rand a month in interest? 2 million rand cash. Anyone saving towards 2 million rand? Do you think Mike and Vilna should give up? Right? We need to think about money differently, guys. Not like consumers. The economy wants us to think like consumers. Spongile from Tembisa, she joined 1 year ago. Nearly 13,000 rand a month. Rena joined us right at the very beginning. Extremely experienced couple at network marketing. They've been doing this for, I don't know, I don't think they want to reveal their age. They say 20 years. I think it's more like 40 years. I hope Rena's not watching. And she's a very hard-working nurse. She's done this in the background. She's tried to make this business not as burdensome as she thought it was going to be. But we've invested so heavily in technology that you can do the business from home quite easily, remotely, right? And they're nearly on 30,000 a month. Everybody is different. We've got thousands of wealth engineers joining this business every single month, each creating additional streams of income for themselves, empowering themselves just a little bit more. than what they were before. Run your own race. I love to see this, think of this business as Comrades Marathon. We're all going to run at a different pace. All of us. Decide what pace you can run at, right? What your life allows. And then strategize, make a plan, a training program that allows you to get to your goal, to your target in this business. So this is our returns program. This is the recurring income that you make every single month. There's a second way to earn, and that is through our rewards program. So this was the incentive program, or the fund that I said that goes with the success in this business, called the XP Rewards Program. You become a new wealth engineer. And when you start engaging in new wealth engineer activities like coming to presentations, bringing guests with you, watching training, you log into the website, you do home presentations. When you do all these things, we give you experience points. We call it XP. And when you start collecting more and more of this XP and your channel grows, we reward you along the way, right? So here's the table. If you join tonight, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. Can you see? You're not even on the slide. Not important, right? New wealth engineers are not important. You get to rank 1, you need 1,000 XP, you need 4 products in your qualified channel, and when you meet those 2 criteria, you become rank 1, and we give you a 55 Rand once-off reward. Once off. It's not recurring income. Once off 55 Rand. I imagine you can go buy a slice of cake and celebrate your early success in the business. You have to celebrate it. Because if you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 20. The person that's at rank 20 and the person at rank 1 are doing the same thing every day. Exactly the same thing. Nothing changes throughout the program. But as you start progressing through the program, the rewards get bigger. There's a 20,000 Rand check, a 50,000 Rand check waiting for you. We give tools to our wealth engineers that help them build their channels more effectively. So here's Patrick and Pumi. They got to rank 5. We gave them this Lightning USB drive. It's got all our video collateral on there. So all the videos, interviews, testimonials, about business videos, all of that. But that little device can plug into anything. It can plug into cell phones, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs, anything. So Patrick and Pumi can show people the DuePoint opportunity regardless of what device they have around them. At rank 7, we get these premium business cards manufactured. We have to print them in pairs because they're so expensive. To get 1 set printed costs us 20,000 Rand. But if we get 2 sets printed, so everyone has to rank up to rank 7 in pairs because we can't afford 1 rank 7 at a time. If we can get 2 sets manufactured at the same time, it costs us 12,500 Rand per set. You get 1,000 business cards, and these are luxurious is an understatement. I've never seen anyone with business cards like this. I've worked in advertising all my life. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because business cards are a foremost tool in business. They are one of these stamps of credibility that we give to each other. When you sit down across from somebody and you say to them, "I've got a wonderful business opportunity for you. It's with a business called DuePoint." They say, "Well, I've never heard of DuePoint before." Your credibility is on the floor. You don't have any credibility because the person has never heard of DuePoint. But I promise you, if you put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table and you say, "This is the business I'm talking about," your business card costs about 50 times more than the other person's business card. And that person could work at Anglo American, right? Who's got more credibility all of a sudden? You do. It affords you a few more minutes to explain what DuePoint's all about and how you get business cards like that. These are tools to help you build your channels more effectively. At rank 9, we take you and your family business class flights to our international conference. It's 7 days away to a 5-star luxury resort, all expenses paid. We pick you up at your door and we take you on holiday. You leave your wallet behind. You bring your passport. And after 7 days, we bring you back to your house, to your doorstep. So take a look. We've come back from our first rank 9 trip. This happened in December between Christmas and New Year. We documented it for you so you can see it's real.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand on at the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Shame, I think Pumi thought those little fish were going to eat her. So that's what we do every single year. This is a trip. This is not a once-off trip. Rank 9, once you get to rank 9, is a recurring reward in our XP Rewards program. You will enjoy this with your family, business class flights every single year for the rest of your life. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 on a brand new car and give it to our wealth engineers. No T's and C's, no, you've got to give the car back after 6 months. We buy the car cash, in your name, it's yours. No debit order at the end of the month. How much closer are you to becoming debt-free when you're going on a business class holiday every single year and the car you drive around is for free? That's at rank 11. The program is actually designed up to rank 28. What happens at rank 28 if you're getting a car at 11? You've got to get there. It starts at rank 1. Can you get excited about the 55 Rand? Right? So half the wealth engineers that got to rank 9 did so in less than 12 months. One gentleman did it in 5 months. What are you doing in the next 10 months? Our next trip is December this year. It's 10 months away. You get to decide what you do every single day. Third benefit, so I said there was 2 ways to earn, but we've got a third benefit called Wealth Quest. So this is a challenge we issue to our wealth engineers every single month. It runs only for the month. So from the first day to the last day of the month, January's is called Hit 2018 Sprinting. And the challenge is if you can bring 20 people, not 2, 20 people onto your first point in the month of January successfully, which means they pay their products, right? We'll give you an extra 10,000 Rand. You'll be earning about 1,100 Rand in recurring income. You'll be on your way to rank 3. Plus 10,000 Rand cash in your pocket. That's to get started. So we're nearly over. We've got wealth engineers that are going for this, right? You guys, any guests here this evening? You don't have too much time left. Not impossible, I guess, but on the 1st of February, there will be a new Wealth Quest, right? Another opportunity. We could ask the question, how does DuePoint afford all of these things? How does the business model work? Very simply, traditional insurance companies spend a lot of money on advertising. That's the way they acquire clients. At DuePoint, we don't spend a cent on advertising. Not a cent. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of our building. We rely on our wealth engineers to go out and speak to people and tell them about the DuePoint business opportunity. And so we don't have to spend the billions that the insurance industry spends every single year on marketing and advertising. We can take that portion of our budget and attribute it to the returns and the rewards program to the benefit of you guys, to the benefit of our wealth engineers. And that's how our business model works, quite simply. We've got 3 products at DuePoint. The benefit of all 3 products is financial in nature. The first product is our investment product. It's called the Access Wealth Plan. It is 299 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand will get invested into a tax-free investment fund in your name, right? So it's the investment product. It is full access, no restriction. There's no notice periods that you have to give. That means you can draw your investment out at any time. You don't have to give us 30 days notice or 60 days notice. It takes us about 72 hours to process. So that's the investment part, and then we give you a little bit of insurance with this investment product to the value of 110,000 Rand of personal accident cover, right? So this is our investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is purely an insurance product, so there's no investment, just insurance. It's 274 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover, right? The beauty of our personal accident cover in Wealth Guard and in Access Wealth is that we don't profile you from a health point of view. So this is not funeral cover, it's not life insurance. We don't cover you in the event of death through illness or natural causes, right? It's accidental death cover. But the beauty of that is that we can offer this insurance product to anyone over the age of 18 because we're not profiling you from a health point of view, right? So it doesn't matter. You can be 60 years old, you can be 70, 80, you can be diabetic, you can have cancer. The premium remains the same and the amount of cover you receive remains the same regardless. So this is the insurance product, Wealth Guard. The third product is called Wealth Points, the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. 274 Rand a month, and what this product aims to do is save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. So if you look at the list of partners there, I bet you spend money at least one of those partners, right? We've got grocery stores, we've got data suppliers, we've got entertainment, we've got car manufacturers, we've got all kinds of online retailers. So for 274 Rand a month, you get to enjoy the discounts that we've negotiated with the partners that you see listed there. So for example, always on Wi-Fi data, if you're going to go buy a gig a gig of data from Always On, they're going to charge you 100 Rand. But if you're on the Wealth Points program, they only charge you 37 Rand. Right? Can you see the discount that you receive there? So the discounts are different with all the partners. Right? You can go onto our website. If you want more information around any of our products, go to the website. And if you go to YouTube, we've got in-depth video reviews of each of the products. But the products are designed to be straightforward. These are not complicated products. Straightforward products. If you have any questions, come speak to me. I'll answer any questions that you might have. Wealth Points is great if you're looking for immediate benefit. So what is the decision we left with this evening? For me, to sum it up simply, I think of Elon Musk's interview when he talks about romanticizing entrepreneurship. He says, you want to be an entrepreneur? There is great upside to being an entrepreneur. Liberation, financial freedom, being your own boss, time freedom, right? All these wonderful things. The returns program, the rewards program. But there's a downside. The downside is time sacrifice, working, persistency, not giving up. We deal majority of the time, we're dealing with people in this business all the time. And people can be quite frustrating to deal with if you haven't noticed in your life, right? Even your family can be painful. If you can endure the downside of entrepreneurship, you get to enjoy the upside of entrepreneurship. And that's the decision I think we need to make this evening. Are you willing to partake in the downside of this business? Do you want what's on offer badly enough? Becoming a wealth engineer is very straightforward. Read our code of conduct. It's our contract with you that defines what you can and cannot do as a wealth engineer. And then to become a wealth engineer, to register as one, you just apply on our website, on our homepage, www.DuePoint.net. You click on the big blue apply button. It takes you 7 minutes. You're a wealth engineer, rank 0. Then you start applying yourself to this business that you've just engaged in, right? Complete the online training. You're not forced to, but there's 7 hours of online training that form part of our basic series. We've got 500 videos on our YouTube channel. You just need to watch 7 to understand every facet of this business. Invest in those 7 hours. Set goals for yourself. Most underestimated task in business and in personal life is setting goals. People don't like to set goals. I don't like to set goals. But I found if I look back on my life, every goal that I've set has always been met with achievement. If I don't set goals for myself, I kind of waft around, right? I'm an easygoing, I'm quite a laid-back person by nature. I have to set goals for myself. Set goals for yourself. Where do you want to be in 2 years? Put a stick in the sand. Keep yourself accountable to it. Make sure there's a deadline to your goal. And then prepare a plan. That's a strategy, right? That's the way we're going to get to this goal. Figure it out. We help you. In the training, there are ways that we help you to strategize your success in the business. And then the basic activity of just speaking to people. That's all you have to do in this business, is talk to people. You don't have to sell, right? You don't have to drive around with product. You just have to speak to people. Connect them to the DuePoint opportunity. I and Brendan, myself and Brendan, will do all the work for you. You just connect people to us. We'll do all the work. Right? That's all you have to do. Simple task of that. We've got merchandise. It's not a profit center for us. These are tools that I think will help you in building your channels of distribution. Foremost for me, always, business cards. Business cards, guys. You're going to have to buy the cheap vanilla business cards. I will buy the expensive black ones when you get to rank 7. Is that a deal? I'm watching all of you. I'm going to see you go order business cards after the presentation. We've got all our video on the USB sticks. So if you don't want to use data, get the USB stick. You can plug them into TVs nowadays, power banks, so your cell phone never dies. That's very important because your mobile app runs on that. And then those pins in the top left represent rank 1 and above wealth engineers. When you get to rank 1, you're allowed to buy one of them. It shows people that you earn money at DuePoint. You're not part of the 0+0 club at DuePoint. If you go ask advice from anyone, you make sure you ask advice from someone who's got a pin on their lapel. I want to ask advice from someone who's not earning money here at DuePoint, right? So wear that pin with pride. And then we've got a host of other merchandise in the cabinet there. Credit card machine's been warmed up for you guys. Once you become wealth engineer, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like I said, 500 videos neatly categorized for everybody. Newest videos are 3 new product videos that we put up last week. Our 3 testimonial videos, those people that we showed you, their videos are up. And then we've got 2 new intro videos. So we do exactly the same presentation. I do it in 15 minutes. When you go speak to someone and they say, I've only got 15 minutes, you say, great, yeah, I've got a presentation, watch this. Brennan's got a 20-minute version. Go watch those videos. Use them to your benefit. Download the mobile app. Very important. This is your primary tool of business. This mobile app tells you in real time what is happening in your channel. In real time. Every aspect of your business is reflected in this mobile app. This app will tell you if you're making money while you're sleeping. Because when you wake up in the morning, the number's either bigger or smaller. Right? You want it to be bigger. You can track everything. Update your profile photo in the app. We give you 1,000 XP the moment you take a selfie on our app. How much XP do you need for rank 1? 1,000. Right? There you go. One smile away. Some don'ts that we highlight because no one reads their code of conduct. So things I need to highlight for you. The business is targeted to people who have the resources to thrive in this business. The business is not a charity business. We do not want to burden the burdened. Right? So, in line with that, if you can't afford our products, this business is probably not for you. If you don't have access to the internet or can't afford data, this business is probably not for you. If you struggle with transport, you're going to struggle in this business. Keep these points in mind when you go look for people to put onto your first point. Don't complete DuePoint application forms on behalf of other people. This is fraudulent. It's actually illegal. Right? You cannot apply on someone else's behalf. They have to do the application themselves. They've got to click the check boxes. They've got to agree to the mandates, the debit order authority. They've got to do the clicking themselves. You're going to assist them, but they've got to do the application themselves. Don't add direct family members that live with you into your channel. We call it anti-stacking rules. Not allowed. If you've got family members that don't live with you, they can be in your channel. Right? Simple rule. Don't start your own DuePoint Facebook page. This is the one that it's a knife in the side of me every morning. Because we've got a company that's contracted that goes out onto the internet and it looks for all these people starting Facebook pages. I'm amazed. Every single presentation, I tell people not to do it. Every morning there's someone starting a Facebook page. Most recent one, DuePoint Johannesburg. And the person doesn't know what you're talking about when you're saying, what are you doing? Right? So we suspend you immediately. We've got to report you to the FSB. Then you've got to phone back because the app will tell you you've been suspended. You've got to phone back to client service. You can't add anyone to your channel. You can't do business. You've got to phone. You've got to prove that you've taken all your posts down. And some people go crazy on Facebook. They do like 100 posts in a day, right, in all these classifieds. You've got to take all of them down, prove to us that they've all been taken down, and then we unsuspend you. So don't do it in the first place. And tell people in your channel not to do it, please. And then don't send DuePoint prospects to our head office unattended. This point actually is a bit broader. It speaks to the professionalism that we need to kind of undertake when we do our prospecting. When you go look for people to join in your first point, treat them with dignity, respect, and be professional. Always. You do not know what that person's going to do in your business, right? We see the problem because we've got people, strangers, coming in to head office. They say, oh, Bob from Facebook, I've met him. He sent me to head office. He said Rob or Brendan will take care of me. That's not the way to prospect, guys. This business is about relationship. Look after each other, respect each other. It'll be better for your business if you do business that way. 10th of February, so around the corner, all the pressure's on me at the moment with regards to this Converge Awards evening that we're having. It is invitation only. It's for our rank 4s and up only. Tickets finish. So the sale closes on tickets at the end of this week. So there are people that have been invited who haven't either responded or haven't paid. There's a handful of them. You've got till the end of this week, and then it's done. You're not coming. So for those people, make sure that you get your tickets, right? For people that are close to getting to rank 4, make sure you get to rank 4 by the end of this month so you can get your invitation. So that's a reminder around then. Guys, I'll remind everybody, we've got 10 months until rank 9. Who wants to go to Mauritius? All expenses paid. All of us, right? I promise you, the trip will blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. It is not 5-star. It is 5 diamond. 5 diamond. I went to Mexico once. They got 5 diamond hotels in Mexico. This is a 5 diamond trip. It is an amazing trip. 10 months to get there. You can do it. And it'll be a trip that you get to enjoy every single year with your family. Your husband or wife will love you more after that trip. Right? If that's the motivation you need. So I remind you, the only person in control of their destiny is you. No one else. We can blame everybody else, but it's not going to get us any closer. I wish you all the best for the rest of the year. If you have any questions, come speak to me. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.